Hi, I'm Oskar van Deventer and this is the Hurricane puzzle. The Hurricane puzzle, which looks similar from the front and the back, it is a puzzle that has 8 colorful rainbow style pieces, and the object of the puzzle is to take it apart and put it together. And well, there are little magnets inside to have the final piece click well in place. That's more for the player than that it's essential. But we have all these pieces that go through each other. So before going to the 8-piece puzzle, let's go back a little bit in history, because the puzzle is based on an old design of mine which is called Lucky Clover, and this was produced by Bits and Pieces early this century, and it has 4 identical pieces which are very hard to take apart. And the reason why it's hard to take apart is that when you have the pieces that are together, then the challenge is that they are all in such a way together, and now I'm getting confused myself, they're all together, but you can't immediately take a pair apart. So if you try to take this pair apart, it doesn't work, because the pieces don't fit through because of the shaping here. So the only way to get a pair of pieces apart is by first putting them through each other and change the parity. And only after you have changed the parity this way, you can take them apart, like that. But it's even harder, because when you start taking apart 2 pieces without looking into the others, you will get stuck, because for the parity change that I just showed you, the pieces need to be flat on top of each other, which means that if there are other pieces here looking around it and you want to go through it, it doesn't work. So this puzzle with 4 identical pieces, it requires some careful logistics, because you first need to do the parity swap between gold, gold, silver, silver, then gold, silver, the other gold, silver, then yet another combination, and only once you have done all the parity changes you can take it apart. Okay, this was early this century, but then something interesting happened when I met Bram Cohen at IPP 40, where Bram said, "Hey Oskar, I have reinvented a puzzle of yours." So Bram didn't know my Lucky Clover puzzle, and he reinvented something that looked fairly similar. But there was one important change, and that is, in my design all the pieces are identical. But in Bram's design they were 2 on 2 identical, so there were 2 identical pairs, but between the pairs they were different. Sort of mirror image, but not exactly mirror image, but anyway, each of the pairs acted the same, but between them they acted differently. And it took me 1.5 years, but finally it hit me. This original concept, I could never go beyond 4 pieces, because if you go beyond 4 pieces, then you will get into a parity problem and you can't swap them anymore. But when you have these pieces and their mirrored versions, suddenly you can get to 8. So if you see at the side, we have one type that is closed at the outside and open at the inside. And we have the other type that's open at the outside and closed at the inside. So here you see this heart shape. Here the heart shape is closed at the inside, and for the other pieces the heart is closed at the outside. So this solves the problem, and the way that this puzzle is solved is you first separate them 4 and 4. So you take first the pieces from one square and the other square and you separate them completely. So for each pair, you need 2 moves. That is first the parity swap, then the taking apart. So to separate 4 pieces from 4 other pieces, that is 4 times 4 is 16, that's 32 moves. And then for each of the pieces, you need even more moves. So we get to a total of, many moves. Let's do the mathematics. 7 times 8 times 2. Lots of moves and a major logistics, because if you do the wrong swap, the puzzle won't come apart because of other pieces being in the way. So this is really a hard puzzle to solve. And let me just show you all the prototyping that I have been doing. So I have been experimenting with hexagonal versions, 6-piece versions. I've been experimenting with helices, and it took a lot of work to get all the dimensions right, and also to get the connection strong enough. There's a little bolt in there for the connection, to get the styling right. So here are a few other variations that I made. Here we have a 4-piece variation. I call it Typhoon because it looks a bit like a typhoon warning. It's the same concept but smaller, and I made a little variation where some of the pieces are a bit thicker and thinner, which makes it slightly harder to solve. Here we have yet another variation. It looks like a hazard sign, so I called this variation Hazard, and this is actually the more easy version to solve. But as Ivan Danek, puzzle guy, already said, he said you should make a 3-piece version, but even a 3-piece version is interesting and challenging to many people. But anyway, I'm really happy that I now finally have an 8-piece version. I call it Hurricane, and my question to you is, what do you think about the styling of this puzzle with the black and rainbow? Do you like it? Thank you for watching.